Welcome to the Independent Roadmap, where we discuss all things independent insurance agencies. And I'm your host, James Roberts, the Regional Vice President for MIAA and SIAA, located here in Kansas City. Now, today I want to talk to producers, captive agency owners, and those who are thinking about starting a scratch independent insurance agency. And the question we get asked a lot is, how do I start my independent insurance agency? And so we're going to go over a checklist of items that are written down. Now, I have recently started an independent insurance agency, and so this is coming from my experience and then discussing this with a lot of other new scratch insurance agencies as well. So one of the very first things you want to do is kind of start thinking about a name. And when you think about a name, think about it, are you going to start this up as an LLC? Are you going to do, like if I was going to name it James Roberts Insurance or Roberts Insurance Agency, and then am I going to have a DBA after that? So those are the things you kind of got to start thinking through. What do you want your insurance agency name to be? The next thing you want to do is make sure that that agency name is available, both with the state Department of Insurance as well as the Secretary of State. Make sure that your company name is going to be available, and then you're going to want to lock that in. So in some states you can actually reserve a name, or you can just go ahead and create that LLC right there. Now, if you're going to add a DBA, some territories, some cities, some states do require additional licensing for that DBA. So you might need to file that DBA as well. Once you have your name locked in, go ahead and lock in a web address too. So if it's Roberts Insurance Agency, I'm going to lock in Roberts Insurance Agency. If it's DBA 123 Insurance, I'm going to go lock in 123 Insurance because that's what I want my insurance name to be. So you're going to want to lock in your name. I briefly mentioned an LLC, and so after you select your name, you really want to think through the structure of your business. So you're going to set up as a sole proprietor, an LLC, a C-Corp. All those things matter, and you want to get it set up correctly. So while I can't offer advice on that, I do think you should talk to an accountant or maybe a business attorney to specifically talk about your situation to see which setup might be best for you. Now, what I see the vast majority of people are doing is setting up an LLC. Once you set up your agency in that either sole proprietor or LLC or C-Corp, the next thing you're going to want to do is go out to the IRS and create your EIN. Your EIN is important. It's how you get identified, and you want to set that up right after you get your LLC or your business established. Now, you will get your EIN immediately, and you'll be able to download that EIN number, and you'll want to save that for your records. You'll use it a lot. Trust me. After you get your EIN, I'm going to make the assumption that you are already a P&C licensed producer. And so the next thing you would want to do is you'd want to actually get your agency license in the home state. So in my case, I live in Missouri. I would want to get my agency licensed in my home state. Now, I want to make sure my agency license matches exactly what I selected for my business name and my DBA if I added a DBA. So it needs to match the Secretary of State in both the form and the name, as well as any DBA that you might have added. So if I'm going with James Roberts Insurance Agency or Roberts Insurance Agency, my agency name would need to be Roberts Insurance Agency. Now, if I added that DBA 123 agency license name would need to be Roberts Insurance Agency DBA 123 Agency. Hopefully that makes sense. You want everything to line up with the Secretary of State, and what your official name is how you want to register with the Department of Insurance. Now, one important piece is you're registering with the Department of Insurance and you're applying for your agency license, you will need to designate an agency producer. And most of the time, the vast majority of the time, that is going to be you as the agency owner. You're the designated producer. So make sure you follow through on that as well. Next item on the checklist is E&O insurance. Now, you want to get E&O insurance for your P&C as well. If you have a life and health license, you want to get an E&O that will cover both of those. There are a number of places you can get E&O. I do suggest that you check out a number of places. Now, you can get this through the Big I, you can get it through Byberg, through Next, you can get it through Hiscox. There are a lot of different places that you can get this. If you become a member of MIAA or SIAA, we also have different options for you as well. Now, for a scratch agency, the pricing I've seen on this ranges anywhere from $500 all the way up to about $1,600. Now, there are some really important key functions in this E&O that you kind of want to think through and make sure you have. And the big one is, do you have defense inside your $1 million limits or defense outside of your $1 million limits? Those are some critical things to know, and you want to make sure you get the right coverage. So E&O is very important. There are a lot of providers out there. You want to make sure that the named insured is your agency name and DBA if you have it. So it would be Roberts Insurance Agency or Roberts Insurance Agency DBA 123 agency. Now, not every carrier is going to require this, but I think it's important, and that's a separate cyber policy. Now, you can get this added on to your E&O, but I would recommend you have an additional aggregate to cover cyber alone. So cyber options, there are a lot of different companies out there, Coalition, Cowbell. If you join MIAA and SIAA, we have options for you as well too. And these are great standalone products. You want to make sure you have a standalone cyber coverage. Now, if you're coming from the producer side or you're coming from the captive agency side, you may not have had to have that. In this case, when you're starting your own independent insurance agency, we strongly recommend you have your own cyber coverage. After you set up your LLC, the next thing you want to make sure that you get is a bank account. The bank is going to be a commercial account with your agency name. And you're going to want to look for two accounts. One is going to be your operating account. This is going to be the account where you pay all your bills. You're going to receive commissions. This is your account that is your everyday use account. The second account is a premium trust account. Now, this varies by state whether or not it's required, but I do strongly recommend that you get some sort of premium trust account. This account is where if an insured comes into the office and you want to collect payment or collect premium, that premium goes into the premium trust account. And so you do not want to commingle funds in this account, but it's there to collect insurance premiums that get paid to the carrier. And so two accounts at the bank. One is your operating account, and the second one is collecting premium payments for the insured. If you're collecting E&S payments, this can also be where you're going to collect and put the down payment. Things that need to get paid out to the carriers for agency builds. So you want to have two checking accounts. After you get that set up, the final thing for you to become an independent insurance agent, and this is probably the most exciting part, is getting contracts. Getting contracts with carriers so that you can actually go out and write and place business. There are a number of ways where you can go out and try to get carrier contracts. They go from hard all the way to the easy side. And not all carriers are given appointments. The market is softening, it's coming down a bit. They're starting to open back up, but they're not opening back up for appointments quite yet. And so you can try to go out and get these appointments on your own. And so you're going to want to reach out to the different territory reps and have conversations with them about that. Or a better way is you can join an aggregator or an alliance like MIAA or SIAA, and we can help you with those contracts too. So once you have those things, you have a name, you have your business established as a sole proprietor or an LLC, you have a bank account, you have your producer license, your agency license, your E&O, your cyber, then it's time to get contracts and you're ready to go off to the races and start selling insurance. All right, there's way more to this, and we'll start talking about contracts and how we help you with MIA and SIA. But for now, that is a great start to how you can start your own independent insurance agency. All right, we'll see you next week.